Greetings, friends. Here's the forecast for Tuesday. First of all, happy upcoming holidays to everyone. I hope that here on Telegram, here in video format, and in our forecasts, we can make you happy and give you some wins before the holidays without any losses. So I really hope we can do that. We'll do our best. Let's see how it turns out. Also, just a reminder that we'll be back to work pretty early. We won't be waiting until the 5th or the 10th or anything like that. The matches start around the 2nd or 3rd, and we'll already be getting back to work then. But today I'm recording this for you for the Tuesday matches. That's Arsenal versus Aston Villa, Chelsea versus Bournemouth. I'll give two outcomes for each match. So, the first option for Tuesday is Arsenal versus Aston Villa, and still Arsenal. At first I actually paid attention to Aston Villa. I wanted to pick something related to their total, their individual total. Then I studied the statistics more closely over a longer period. Yes, Aston Villa has had some slumps. Yes, Aston Villa doesn't always, far from always feel at their best. But lately, I have to admit, they've been performing quite well. I don't know how much sense it makes to look at their head-to-head meetings because, well, that's a tricky thing. In the 23rd to 25th years, Aston Villa almost always scored and won there, and they won the last game, just recently, in December of the 25th year. And as I already mentioned, they've been feeling very confident in their recent games there. The last time they lost was about 44 years ago, and that's impressive. Arsenal, in fact, is no worse. Arsenal also feels confident as the favorite in this match when it comes to totals. And I kind of have this feeling, if I can put it that way, that Aston Villa is probably about to slow down. After all, this is an uncharacteristic streak for them, an unusual number of totals they're hitting, so I think Arsenal probably has a higher chance to show themselves here. We'll see, maybe Aston Villa will step on the gas and surprise everyone. Arsenal over 1.5 is at 1.68. And then I really took a risk and decided to assume that Aston Villa won't show themselves at all, and that in this match they'll get caught because of it. Under 0.5. Aston Villa won't score. 1.96. Chelsea versus Bournemouth. It just so happened that in these predictions for both matches, I decided that one of the teams either wouldn't score at all or would score very little. In this case, it's Chelsea. I think that since they've also been exceeding their average total, they won't be pushing too hard. In any case, let me remind you that you don't have to risk your own money. You can use bonuses to place your bets. Why not? I'm leaving a link to the bookmaker in the comments. Everything is clear when it comes to withdrawals. There are also express bet insurances available. By the way, that's a really good feature. And there are cashbacks every month. The link is in the comments. Register and get your bonus. If you already have a bonus there, maybe you've already registered or just have an account, then head over to Telegram. There's a whole list of bookmakers there that you can work with. All of them have smooth withdrawals, cashbacks everywhere, and all possible outcomes are available at every bookmaker. By outcomes, I mean things like yellow cards, corners, interval totals, stuff like that, which isn't basic and isn't available everywhere. Let's try picking Chelsea. The odds are 1.79. Not a bad option that Chelsea will score less than 2 goals. And then maybe I took too much of a risk. I rarely do that. Usually if I do, it's on the favorite. But here, the underdog Bournemouth is at 2.47. A very nice set of odds. I studied the statistics. We all know how Chelsea plays in waves when it comes to slumps, and those slumps often happen against underdogs. That's why I think maybe we'll be able to catch Bournemouth scoring in this match. But they might be able to score in the first half. So, first half over 0.5 for Bournemouth at 2.47. The odds are 3.09. The accumulator will be published on our Telegram channel on Tuesday. I hope it comes through, and we also work for you daily on Telegram providing free predictions. Thank you so much for your attention, friends. Good luck, take care, and goodbye.